Mythstories. The Museum of Myth and Fable and the University of Chester recently embarked on a special research project entitled Telling Our Stories with Museum Collections. Working with other educational partners, the Mythstories research project sought to answer three key questions. Firstly, could dedicated storytelling artifacts enhance pupils' oracy and literacy? Secondly, how could teachers practically integrate storytelling artifacts in their classroom teaching? And thirdly, what support would teachers need to do this? Founder-creators and storyteller experts Ali and Des Corel originally started Mythstories as a unique museum to promote storytelling in the classroom.
Storytelling gives them confidence. Storytelling helps them explore their world, their ideas, and it really brings them out of themselves.
Children telling stories that helps them learn. It frees them up. If you can get the child engaged, which is very easy with stories, then you can get them to learn. They'll go the extra mile for you, like writing, those things they find really difficult.
Mythstories' inspirational storytelling museum has now evolved into a rich and accessible online resource for teachers, comprising 600 exhibits linked to stories from around the world, ranging from paintings and decorative fabrics to automata, 3D mechanical devices, and even giant story character figures. Many artifacts have now been donated to schools and other organisations.
This project has been designed not only to give the schools mini museums, but then to give them support in using them. And then we can go about setting that up and putting it onto the website so they can access it easily and quickly.
The research project enlisted the kind assistance of two primary schools, Grosvenor Academy in Chester and Mount Pleasant School in Shrewsbury, who chose objects from the Mythstories collection of artifacts to create permanent mini-museums in their own school for use in the curriculum. Along with teachers, university staff and professional storytellers, the team aimed to demonstrate and develop the use of these beautifully crafted artifacts and imaginative homemade story boxes to inspire the children. Teacher and professional storyteller Dawn Powell.
I think having a visual is just a great focus. You've got the storyteller as a focus, but then you've got these wonderful pictures. Most of the pictures are in the children's imaginations, but just enough for them to think, I see. Today we were working with mythology to find out how we ignite curiosity and creativity, and how we can make it accessible to the teachers so that it isn't just me coming in to tell stories, but how they can pick up the baton and carry it on and develop what's started here today. And in turn that will benefit the children's communication skills, their speaking and listening, and the way they collaborate with each other.
This powerful and versatile storytelling approach is particularly effective in mixed ability classes with young and older children.
With year one we had more actions, we had more singing, more interaction throughout the story. With the older children it was like, here's 15 minutes for you to go away and recreate your version. So they had more independence and more opportunities for group work.
Of course, with appropriate support, children can become actively involved in all aspects of storytelling too, deciding what aspects of the story are important and then working together to deliver the most effective narrative for their audience. Despite the pressures on the curriculum and teachers' time, the teachers are completely supportive and are keen to explore practical ways integrating artifacts and story boxes in their teaching. Teacher Emily Isaacs.
I think it went really well. All the children were very engaged in the session. Bringing the resources out of the box was really interesting for them, and actually being able to hand them out. So it's good for them to be able to see it, and then they could even, use those to start their own story, and they'd be able to describe them in more detail and just a better understanding of everything, really.
Teacher Charlotte Gill.
I absolutely love the story in the box, and I'm trying to think of how the stories that we're going to be looking at in class throughout the rest of the year, what opportunities I can use to weave them into our English lessons. So it's finding the right story that will match one of the artefacts that we've been gifted.
Head of School Richard Clark.
Some things have been really easy to integrate straight away and have impact straight away because of their size, their engagement with the pupils, and you very quickly see how they linked into the curriculum, and that's been very successful. Others are going to take a little bit of time, because we just need to know and understand them, how we can use them most effectively.
One example of practical support for teachers might be continuous professional development, CPD. Or perhaps in the future, new online and virtual ways of engaging teachers and children with these brilliant physical and digital resources may be developed.
Absolutely, CPD would really help. The teachers I work with here are very professional, they're very keen, they want to develop teaching and learning, and they thrive on CPD. Seeing how people do it, other professionals do it, and link it into their teaching and learning gives them a hook and gives them an inspiration into how they can use that in their own practice. Effective, targeted CPD would help us integrate these artefacts even more into the curriculum.
So overall, do these remarkable classroom resources have a real impact on pupils' learning and their enjoyment of storytelling?
I think the children will absolutely love it, because instead of writing on a blank piece of paper, they're going to be writing in a box and on a door and on a wall in their box, and all kinds of exciting things, and they can really make it their own.
And what do the children themselves think?
I use the artefacts to learn because it's a more practical way of learning, and I find that way easier.
It shows us the structure of the story is. It helped me remember the story because it was visual. The children that were listening looked really happy and excited and probably thinking what's going to go on next.
The artefacts helped me really understand the story.
I used the artefacts to remind me of the story and the structure.
The research findings will be used to inform future teaching practices and use in the curriculum, as well as new practical ways of supporting teachers in the classroom. It's reassuring to know that the inspirational legacy of myth stories, like stories themselves the world over, will live long in the minds and hearts of a new generation of storytellers and their audiences. And that is a fitting and happy end to any story.
What gives us real joy is to see people taking our stories and creating something with them. They're deep-rooted in us, they're our culture, they're where we spring from, they're where all our ideas come and all our creativity comes.
Children actually having the power over those words is incredibly important. They can become better communicators. That has a knock-on effect all the way across the curriculum and all the way into the future of their lives. If you can communicate, then you can live effectively.
For more information about how you can benefit from myth stories, please visit our website and feel free to get in touch.